Hey Brandon, let's start with an overview of the garden so far. So you can see the pool deck area, and this is the bed immediately in front. We have a selection of squash, beans, and corn growing in groupings. What I did there was I just planted them together so that they're all hitting in the same space. Did little mounds, and so not everything took off in every hole. You'll see some that have corn but no corns and beans but no squash, some that have squash and beans but no corn, and a few that have all three. And so you'll see the bed, which will take you to over here. This is the sunflower and squash bed. This is our wildflower. So far it's being taken over by wormwood. Back here is another full bed we'll walk to. Way back there, you'll see two tomato beds here. Here we have a bed full of beets. Here we have another tomato bed. It's towards the end of the day and it's catching the last of the sun here. Take you through here, we have a whole bunch of stuff in our first triangle bed, including pot marigolds, bush beans, eggplants, wild loofah. Across over here, beans, we'll take you through. But this is our overview so far, you can see it through. So let me cut and come back. Okay, bed by bed. You can see what I mean by this. You'll also see that there's 2 or 3 different types of squash in there. And so we're doing heavy on squash this year. Our first bed over here, trying to make out, but due to the shadows not helping. These are mainly beets, and they'll be successioned out by fennel. And you can see I did a deep planting, and so what happens is, come in, pluck, duck food. Go this way, tomato bed, 3 different types of tomato. This guy planted, leggy one right here is probably a hybrid of a Sungold that we had from last year. You'll see in all of the beds comfrey. This guy acts as a bioaccumulator for us in a green composting. So once again, heavy and thick in our tomato bed. You can ask me what this is. I don't know. I know it's a native and it's an edible. I'm just not sure which one it is. I'm still doing my research. Back in here you see our bush beans. That's our pot marigold. Seedling starts, this guy right here, right here, is wild loofah. Actually native to Arizona, northern New Mexico area. And then the other bits in there are cucumber. You see our eggplant right there, center screen, followed by our Echinacea pot marigolds. 1 or 2 cucumber to go over the side. What are these guys? These are the worm tubes. You'll see them in most beds. Compost straight down in them. Go from there. Worms go in and out. Here, wild collection. You'll see nasturtium right here, plus watermelon throughout. A couple of watermelon through there. The idea is the watermelon will go over and off to the sides here because we've got lots of room. We also have peas here. They'll die out soon and be replaced with both the watermelon and the cucumber I have growing there. Oh, there's also cantaloupe and a couple other types of melons. This guy right here is ground cherry. Grew a whole bunch of it last year, did really well. I have no idea how to use it or eat it. So, typical David. Dill, cilantro, bit of wildflower in there. So that's why you see these guys pushing out good. You should recognize these guys. This is our 4 that are going to stay in this area. So I still need to put another bed right in here, across, another bed in here. Actually what's going to happen is I'm going to lift up all of these pots, put some cardboard underneath, put the pallets back down, and put the pots back down on top. This is my keyhole garden. Basically what it is, it's an octagon shaped out of straw bales. Inside a whole bunch of wood, a whole bunch of dirt. You can see wood kind of sticking up over the edges. Used a lot of the dirt that I planted comfrey in from last year to fill it in. I planted a whole bunch of different type of squash in here. I should have some crookneck, some yellow nut, some butternut that is, some yellow crookneck, some zucchini, and at least 2 or 3 different types of pumpkins in here. The idea is that all this is going to be filled in again, so I actually won't take any of this out, but when it's time for me to call it a season, I'm going to cut it all back and I'm going to fill it all in to that level right there and on a downward slope, and just have all of this lusciousness right here just be organic matter for next year. What's this? This is how we fill it. This is right now duck compost from the ducks that we have, plus comfrey in there acting as the green fertilizer. To recognize this, well, actually, probably don't recognize this. This is our asparagus bed. So slowly but surely, this is all going to fill out. In the meantime, I've planted some herbs in here, if you can see them. There you go. Some sage and others, and some kale around the sides. We've, idea of bringing pollinators in. We've also let some of the California poppies over on the sides, along with some sishu. More tomatoes over here. Also, what you'll see in here is these guys right there. That's actually Tabasco peppers that are coming up, and those few that are coming back in there. So those tomatoes will be trimmed back to let it go. So may trim some of these tomatoes back. A lot of these were seed starts from last year that made it through. And once again, more comfrey. Comfrey in every bed, acting as an accumulator. This mass of basil right here is all overseeding, including 2 different types. You'll notice this guy here, plus your standard Genovese basil. So a Thai and a Genovese. And eggplant once again. Moving across. So this was another one of my experiments. It was a 3-seed mix. Epazote, sunflowers. Can you really see? Yeah, you can see the sunflowers. Sunflowers, and then underneath, acting as a ground cover in here and receiving the shade from the sunflowers, is squash. And so hopefully we'll be able to pull those squash out when it comes time. If not, we'll figure it out. So that's it. Nothing major. Still got a lot of work to do. Still need 2 more beds. And we'll go from there. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.